I'm bored again. And you know what I do when I'm bored? Well, the first thing I do is cry. Then I build a gaming PC. So, let's build a gaming PC. We need to figure out the specs. So, I'm going to go to my stack of motherboards. Pick out, I don't know, the biggest one. Because I've got a nice case today and I spent a lot of money on a power supply. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Oh shit. Shoot. Alright, let's see what's in this box. It's not the actual motherboard. I think it's slightly better or worse, depending on how you define that. So, yeah. We have an X570 board. This is our MSI something or other board. It's a good board. Don't get me wrong, it's a good board. I just don't really like it. Now, I was originally thinking, so for the CPU, I probably gonna go with like a, obviously a 3rd gen, because we need one. It's empty. So we had two choices. 3600. I almost bought a 3800X today when I was at Micro Center buying this case, but I didn't. Also, if you could see, I've got this random, what was it, 650 GQ. Costed $100. Like a year ago, I bought a 750 watt 80 plus gold for like 80, and this is $100 for a GQ. It's semi-modular. Power supply prices stink right now, but that's the point. So I'm just gonna, and this is pointless, guys. I am not recommending this build. These are just the extra parts that I have, and this is a 3600, and I'm gonna use an X570 board. Now, of course, it's gonna support it natively, which is great, but also it's completely pointless because who would use an X570 board with a 3600? I would highly recommend B450 or something, but I kind of want to get rid of this board, and I think someone will pay extra. There's a lot of, like, when you're selling a pre-built, and you say, oh, it's a 3600, so 3rd gen, with a B450, people, like, assume, like, oh, they're really cheaping out, even though B450 is totally fine for, it's about the minimum I would go, but it's totally fine for 3600s. And this has weird mounting. I don't need this Be Quiet cooler because it's bad. And one thing I hate about Be Quiet cooler, this cooler specifically, this Dark Rock something, when you use AMD, you could tell the AMD mount was an afterthought because it either mounts up or down. You cannot mount it sideways like it's supposed to be, which is absolutely stupid. So I think I'm going to use a different cooler. You know what? This is a nice build. I think I'm going to throw in one of these. I mean, it's still a stock cooler, but it's actually like a... No, because I have to use that one eventually. I hate this. I'm so mad. You can't understand how actually mad I am at this right now. Like, why would you make a cooler like that? Nope, I'm using this. I cannot understand why Be Quiet... I mean, I know why. It's because the AMD cooler mount was an afterthought. But I hate them for it. I hate, like, afterthought better. Where's my thermal paste? Let's use this Cooler Master garbage. Oh, it came out fast. That's not good. Yeah, that's plenty. Boop. Alright, and we just mount our cooler AMD style. Oh man, I hate mounting this cooler. I've never been a fan of this mounting system. Like, it just feels like and it's like I'm just rubbing thermal paste everywhere, trying to get this stupid thing on. And taking it off, I hit that stupid wire retention arm against my hand so many times, and it hurts. Right, that's connected. We need RGB. Good, we have a brand new RGB cable for it. You know, I like, the way I do my build videos is, I wish I had a cameraman so I could do the whole build, time-lapse, the cool stuff, but I can't. So what I really end up doing, and let's turn this to M for W for Wumbo. There's a stupid little thing that's like L or M, and I don't know what it does. I think it's like low max, no penis. But basically... But, you know, it's hard, so instead... Okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh. You know, I wish I could do build videos where I do, like, the whole, you know, showing the time-lapse, having a cameraman, but I don't have a cameraman, so I really can't. And it's a little annoying because it would be nice. We can just leave that for later. But, Oh well. I don't have a cameraman, so I just do this first part. Oh, RAM. Normally with a nice build like this, I would go RGB RAM, but I am building this for the sole purpose of selling it. So, I'm just going to go with some basic XPG DDR4 3000, which is plenty, and that'll be it. So, this is what our motherboard is. Pretty basic. I'm going to mount this in the case. Graphics card, though. Let's see. And in terms of SSD, where is it? I'm just using one of these. They're cheap. They're okay. I mean, it's better than a hard drive. It's an SSD, 240 gig. I'm going to put Windows. My Windows drive is old as heck, but I don't care. I'm selling this PC. For the case, we have this, like, Inwind 101. It's a nice case. I got it for, like, 80 bucks. 240 gig SSD with Windows on it. It'll be a boot drive. SATA, because this case is big enough. In small cases, I use M.2. Big cases, I use SATA. And we've got a semi-modular power supply anyway, so might as well use the SATA cables. And that's really it. So, in terms of graphics card, this was a hard decision because I have a lot of graphics cards. Some of them are really good, some of them are really good. I think I'm going to end up going with this GTX 1070 that I just picked up. You know, it's a nice card. It looks okay. I mean, it's the MSI Armor version. Not to be confused with the MSI Armor version of this Not to be confused with this RX 584 gig that is also the MSI Armor. They're different sizes, but, you know, equally as not really great looking. So, might as well get rid of it. I might make a video about this card because I think 1070 in 2020 is a good idea. This is not a 1070 Ti, and the difference is actually pretty big. There we go. So, this is basically what our build in the end is going to look like. It's okay. It's an okay build, to be completely honest. You know, I personally would not build this for myself. I think it's unbalanced, mostly. But, I mean, X570 motherboard... Like, the motherboard costs the same as the CPU. The CPU is like 150 bucks. This motherboard is like 150 bucks. It's got heat sinks for M.2s I'm not even using. It's got PCIe 4.0 M.2 slot that I'm not even using. But, you know, I should probably use a different motherboard. Do I have one? I don't think so. I think this is just the board I'm going to use. This is annoying. Because for next gen Ryzen, I should use this board, but I might end up buying a new one. Huh. You know, yeah, I'm going to sell this as upgradable. I'm just going to use this older stuff. I don't care. It looks nice. So, I'm going to get this PC built, and we'll talk about it when I'm done. So, this is what we've ended up with. Now, as you can see, I did replace the graphics card. I went from the GTX 1070 MSI Armor version to the RX 580 Asus ROG version because it looks better and because I'm recording this like 2 weeks after I recorded that first part, and I don't know where the 1070 went. But, let's plug it in. And power, make sure that's off. Power it on real quick. Now, I had a few problems. One of the problems is that I did power this on when I first built it a while ago. And, I had some problems. Notice that I'm using, like, this AMD stock cooler. The, you know, the Wraith Spire, whatever it's called. And this case is technically RGB compatible. The front panel is RGB. So I plugged them both into an adapter and plugged into the top RGB header. Turns out I did it wrong, and it caught fire. PC terms caught fire. So there was a flash, there actually was fire and smoke, but it was small and it went out immediately. But I'm not gonna, I might have a zoom in here, I may or may not, because you can't really see it with the camera, mostly just with eyes. There is a burn mark on the board on top now, so that RGB header and everything connected to it is dead. But we ended up with the, you know, the fan works now as USB, and the board is still RGB, and that's all we can hope for. The front panel will just stay blue all the time. But this graphics card should be RGB as well. Let's just turn this thing on. Please work. Haven't turned it on in a little bit. Hey, we're all red. We're having a red old time. So, are things working? Let's get this monitor plugged in and turned on so we can actually test the system. I never have a monitor on this desk. I dropped the cable. I never have a monitor on this desk, mostly because I don't have I don't know. I never have a monitor on this desk because, as you can see, I already have too much stuff already. I don't have enough room for it. But today I have a monitor because I just got a free monitor, so. Let's turn this on and hope it works. It's a free monitor. Hope the PC works too. It's expensive. I kind of want to go with RGB RAM, but also I'm probably going to sell this, so no. I almost never do RGB RAM in a build I plan on selling because people aren't going to pay more for it. They're going to pay the same price eventually. Might as well give them nothing. Alright, it looks like we're broken. And again, I do have a boot drive in here. Welcome back to every time I build a computer, it doesn't turn on when I start recording. Though I can probably, let's see, let's turn it all the way off and try again. Turn that on. Did it just turn on its own? Stop doing that. Oh, MSI. No signal. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Always rebooting just fixes everything, and I hate that because it makes me look stupid. I can do that myself. Alright, let's get a mouse. So, it works. I did put a boot drive in here. You'll notice I didn't have to put in a password or anything. I finally figured out... Oh my god, I hate that it does that. I finally figured out how to make it so that you don't need a password or a login or an account for Windows. So we have our basic Windows installation on here on a 256 gigabyte SATA SSD. Super easy. It's just a nice build. Now, in terms of benchmarking it, it almost feels pointless. It's nothing special. It's not my most insane PC build. It's not my most budget-oriented PC build. It's a PC build I did with my extra parts that looks nice. It looks good. And that's really the goal when you build a computer for YouTube. It looks good. Either it's super budget and people want to actually imitate it, or it's expensive and it looks nice. It's not expensive and it looks nice, but you should not imitate this. I am not recommending that you build this PC, if you were even thinking about it. A 3600 and an RX 580 is just kind of unbalanced. I would definitely recommend upgrading the RX 580 to maybe something a little better, but honestly, but mostly, that's not even the problem. Don't use an RX 570 board with the 3600 unless you have imminent plans to upgrade to something much better, in which case, just buy the thing much better anyway. But, you know, it ends up we get a nice build. Let's see if we can sync everything. I think I have Dragon Center on here. Do we have even a graphics card that counts? Okay, so it looks like our graphics card doesn't actually count in Mystic Light. Really sick. Awesome, awesome hardware, guys. I'm so glad that all these companies are so trivial and stupid they can't even do one software between all of them. So we can't control our graphics card. That's really it. So at least this monitor works. This was mostly just for me to test this monitor, and this was a pretty stupid video. But, as you know, whenever I'm bored, I have to build a PC. And they do pretty well. The video's a couple thousand views a piece, and that's fine. But this is just it's a dumb build. This, like, I'm like, if I get this many likes, I'll benchmark it, in which case I never actually do it. This, I'm not even going to say that. It's pointless. It's a 3600 and RX 580. It'll only perform as good as the RX 580 is. So just look up RX 580 specs, and that's how good it performs. There's no point in me showing it to you. It's not like me testing a card that's unique or something, or me showing you guys what a graphics card, etc., like testing that's different. This is just, it's a PC that looks cool, that I just built out of boredom. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If not, no worries. I don't care. And if you didn't like it, I hate you. I'm kidding. That's the point. Love you guys. I'll see you next one. Peace. What a fucking terrible video that was.